Yeah. All right. All right. Cool. So I called my dad last night because he's the one who created Whozou. I'm his daughter. I'm 30. No, I texted him. I'm 37 and I texted my dad last night because I had this aha moment before bed. I was sitting in the chair and I was thinking to myself, I feel exhilarated. I feel excited about my life. I really like where I am. And I feel like I'm doing what I love. So I thought, I have to share it. I have to say something. I have to tell him that he's the reason that I got here, that I'm doing this. Um, I'm not going to go into what it is that I'm doing, but the satisfaction piece is the key major thing that I was thinking about last night as I was going to bed. And I was thinking back on my life and how it was not a once and done, boom, I've arrived, here I am, I have all the pieces together. It was micro adjustments based on good, solid information. So what do I mean by that? Uh, I got the Whozou information early. My dad started researching the Myers-Briggs type indicator and becoming trained and proficient in using it when I was 10. And I remember the day, I remember where I was. I was walking down the hallway. We were actually in Colorado in this castle. It's kind of awesome to be in a castle. But I was with my dad, and that was where he was getting trained to use the Myers-Briggs type indicator, or being exposed to the information the first time. And he was saying, this is so exciting. Everybody has a way that they are uniquely designed. It's perfect. And we just really need to like hone in on it and catalyze people and utilize what's like the natural best strengths that they have. So, um, anyway, that was all really complex stuff for a little girl, but I was 10 and he was telling everybody what he thought that their MBTI preferences were. And I said, what am I? And he said, I think you're an ENFP. And that was before we were saying, you're supposed to say my preferences are. Did I say ENFP? That's my mom. I'm an INFP. My preferences are INFP. I am having an ENFP moment though. Oh my gosh. My preferences are INFP, and I thought that was really, really interesting as a little girl. And so here I am walking down this hall in this castle, and I'm like, this is a big deal. This is really exciting, interesting information. And once my dad learned that information about me, he started to treat me differently. Not in a way that was strange, in a way that was empowering. It was like, oh, well, this is how you are naturally wired. So blah, 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 blah. And that's why this happens in this situation. And you feel confident here and not so much here and that kind of stuff. So what happened is I kind of got this bug for learning the information that he had to offer me, and I saw it play out really early. When I was like a pretty young kid, um, my ice skating instructor pulled my parents aside and had me go into private lessons, and um, what I realized was I was not built for competitive skating. I was built for creative expression. And that was not the language that I used it because I was a little girl, used about it because I was a little girl. But I had enough information about myself to make a decision to say to my mom and dad, I love these lessons, but I don't want to go any further because it's not the thing that makes me feel excited and exhilarated. And I went on for years to watch professional ice skaters do their thing, and I appreciated the artistry and the discipline and the competitiveness that they were able to bring to the table. But that wasn't how I was wired. I can get competitive in other areas, but it wasn't the thing that drove me to be the most satisfied and exhilarated in my life. And I was just a little girl. That was one choice, one decision that I made. So from there, I thought to myself, okay, so that was just the beginning. That was like just those baby steps, the little pieces. And what I realized last night was that as I was saying yes to certain things, because whenever you say yes, you're always saying no to everything else, because what you're doing is that one thing in that one moment. So as I was saying yes to things, I was sort of locking in a path. That's not exactly the concept I'm trying to get at, but the main thing is that I was able to identify yeses that were key for me, that were really good quality yeses, because I knew things about myself that I would not have known if my dad had not given me this information. So yeah, he raised me with this. I had an awesome advantage in that I had all these concepts laid out for me, and he treated me in a way that was energized and like I could express myself in the environment that he fostered for me. But what I was able to do beyond just prospering as his child and being affirmed and feeling confident in who I was is that I was able to take that when I was not with my dad and apply the things that he taught me to make small choices. I call them micro choices. I made micro choices over a long period of time that led me to where I am, to being satisfied, to living a full life. Check out the Whozou resources. Take a look, see if there's things you can learn about yourself so you can make micro choices. And maybe someday you will sit back in your chair and you'll be like, I feel really satisfied.